We on, guys. Good evening.
So,
Long time no see, everyone.
welcome back, Bonnie.
Thank you.
Welcome back.
I know everybody got different look, different backgrounds. Oh snap!
No.
This is what 2022 is doing with us. I like it, ladies. Hey. Everybody, welcome to the Platform Sports Talk Show. It's your girl Bunny, and of course, we have a wonderful insider with hockey, baseball, and all the sports in between, Miss Jobo.
Hey, happy Wednesday, guys. Happy February. We finally got out of January. That was a rough month. I keep seeing this picture rolling around saying, I'm happy we got out of January. That was a long year because it felt like a freaking year. So we made it.
Oh, gotcha. I got you. And Miss Annie, she was holding it down. Annie and Jobo was holding it down while I was on my hiatus maternity leave. Thank you so much, Annie and Joe.
Of course. Got to look out for the mamas.
I see you representing your slam. Shout out to the St. Louis Slam.
Of course. Season is starting soon.
Is it? When does it start?
In April. But there's still time if you want to join the team, if you're looking to, even though official tryouts have already passed, if you're like, sorry, I missed it, but I'm good to go, still check out the page, follow us on social media, show up to a practice, show us what you got.
What's the socials names on all the platforms?
You can go to St. Louis Slam Women's Football.
All right. And speaking of social media pages, shout out to our host with the most, Fred DJ Smooth, for letting us have Ladies Night first Wednesday of every month. And also, we got to give a shout out to another forum he's going to have started at the end of March. On the last Wednesday of the month, we're going to be having the Man Cave. So Ladies Night first Wednesday of the month, and the Man Cave will be making their appearance on the last Wednesday of the month. So
Did we ever figure out what's different about the Man Cave from all the other shows?
I know that they're going to bring it because it's going to be with the former host on the platform, Sadal, and of course Stanton. He's a regular, but they're also going to have T-Bone and
my hubby,
Richard Cash, Brandon, and BT, Coach Turner. So it's going to be a different variety of guys. So I think it'll be interesting.
Well, I know already that Brendan and the guys in their little chat, they've been talking every day, and they all got different opinions on everything for the most part, so it should be interesting, that's for sure. We gotta say hello to Miss Williams, though.
Hi, Miss Williams.
Absolutely. Fixture on Ladies Night.
Hey, Miss Williams, thanks for tuning in. As always, one of our faithful viewers. I appreciate it. And again, sorry if I have any background noise. Again, I'm just coming off maternity leave. Of course, that means I have not one, but two girls now. Gotta love it.
Have you already decided what sports they're going to play?
Oh, of course not. I'm just trying to get through it every day and every week. With water, honey. All right. Yeah, we'll get to that. Right now, actually, Sasha is oldest. She's 3, and she's doing gymnastics once a week, and she started a little bit at the YMCA learning the basic of basketball fundamentals. Okay. So that's where we are now. The summertime is probably going to change because definitely want to get her into swimming. She wants to follow footsteps of her cousin, my niece Sydney, who is a swimmer with the YMCA swim club. So hopefully do that in a few months. And eventually next year, branch her off to music, which is more of my background. Besides sports, dabbled in music over the years. So that's that. So, ladies,
I'd be so disappointed if my child grew up to be a musician because that would just have nothing to do with me at all.
Oh, that's not true.
I wouldn't be able to take any type of credit for it. That would be so terrible.
Yeah, we got family members that are singers and play instruments and stuff, but I don't do that. I seem to have fun and dance around like an idiot, but it's definitely not one of my talents.
Right. I just want my child to do something I can take credit for so that when they are at signing day and they're putting on a Carolina hat and they're like, I just want to thank my mom who inspired me to choose the University of North Carolina today for where I'm going to use my insert linebacker, defensive end, center, football or basketball, whatever it is. I just want them to be able to say, I got this from my mama. I don't want them to be at a concert like, hello, Cleveland. I want to thank my daddy for my vocal cords. Like,
yeah.
So might get slide tackled on stage. So that's why I need my child to have a talent.
But even if it's not in music, you can also say the looks come from you. See?
But they gotta look cute, because I will tell my kid, like, you look like your daddy.
You know, I mean, daddy's not gonna look cute.
Look, I'm just saying.
I can see you attracting nice people in it. I can see you attracting people that are handsome and good looking. So
first of all, you just gave the show away that you and I are not friends in real life. Otherwise, you would have known better than to say that.
Heck no.
Look, if we so you just gave up the game. Because my people who are tuning in, they know what's up.
Oh, okay.
But no matter how cute he is, he ain't gonna be cuter than me. So I mean,
okay, hey, okay. Whatever floats your boat, honey. Whatever floats your boat. Before I get on our topics here, you're in warm Florida. We're in cold Midwest here. So hopefully you bring those warm vibes this way. Today is just round one of what we're supposed to be getting. The ice. I look out the house all day. It's supposed to be more snow tonight and tomorrow. So yeah.
It's cold here. It's like 65 degrees outside.
Yeah, she's trying to be real funny. Okay,
it probably feels amazing right now. I know yesterday was like 50 something and people are outside in shorts. Like I was putting salt out in a t-shirt, you know, just chilling, and now it's freezing outside. And like you said, Bunny, it's sleet all morning and most of the afternoon. And then tonight, I think around 9, it's supposed to just be snow. So we'll see if it happens or not. You know, it's St. Louis. They always say something's going to happen, and then it doesn't. But shoot, I mean, people are struggling to get up our hills in our neighborhood right now.
I had people driving on ATVs on our street early today, up and down. A couple of guys. Yeah,
we got people that usually do that and try to plow some snow in their ATVs.
I've never seen that before. I'm like, wait.
That's normal out here, as Fred says, the boondocks. So we see that all the time.
Oh, okay. So I should expect to keep seeing that. But hey, the postal worker made it. She put the mail in the mailbox. I'm like, shout out to her.
Look, they said rain, sleet, snow, or whatever else they gonna go through in order to get you your mail. I'll be like, look, it ain't that serious.
Right, because probably nothing in there. If it ain't a check for me, I don't want it. Shoot.
Look, you gotta get direct deposit. In 2022, anything you getting through postal mail can wait. So
yeah, for the most part. You're right. Speaking of 2022, you all, shout out first of the month, but not only that, first Wednesday of the month, but it is Black History Month. Now, Black History, of course, is 365. However, it is emphasized in the month of February to show and talk and highlight different Blacks who have contributed to historical places and things and ideas in our country. So, to all the Black, especially women trailblazers out there that's making history for us, thank you. Keep it on, keep it up. And eventually we'll wrap around talking about WNBA and women history. Got some topics we'll touch on that. But of course, what just happened over the last 48 hours in the world of football, man, I don't even know. Like, I don't think anybody saw this coming. Of course, we talked, Tom Brady officially retiring. Big Ben Roethlisberger said he's going to retire. But that's not even the hottest topic. Not even the Washington football team changing names. No, the biggest one is former head coach Brian Flores. I don't even say he's a whistleblower, but what he's been coming out with regarding what went on in Miami Dolphins organization, even suing the Denver Broncos, suing the NFL. I'm like, gosh, this is juicy. This is just day 2 of his allegations and going on to Sports Talk Show talking about it. It's only going to get juicier. But, ladies, do you have any thoughts on his claims, accusation, or anything else about the NFL, what's going on?
All I'm going to say is that we shouldn't be surprised about the NFL at this point. They keep shooting themselves in the foot over and over and over again. It could be the stuff that happened here. Now we got this. We've had all the stuff that happened in Washington a couple of years ago. Just, it's constantly something with the NFL. And I know me and Brenda were talking about this today. Every professional sports league Baseball obviously has its flaws, and hockey and everything. I just feel like football is just the one that's constantly just, like I said, shooting themselves in the foot. And they're always constantly, within the last year or so, putting those messages on their helmets, and then they don't really practice it themselves. So, I'm not surprised. That's all I can really say about that. You guys are probably know more about it. I don't really know more about football. I know what's going on with the playoffs, but I know what's going on, like the gist of it, but I don't know all the details of it. You're muted, buddy. Bunny, oh yeah, there you go.
Sorry, thank you. This is not how you want to start off Black History Month with the former Black head coach complaining about how the NFL is racist and their practices and what's going on in organizations. No bueno. Annie, you got any thoughts? I know you keep up.
I think this is the perfect way to start Black History Month. This is Black history in the making. He is taking a stance. He's paving the way for real action to take place, proving that the Rooney Rule is a joke in terms of its application, not in terms of its intent. And so I think Brian Flores is kicking off Black History Month right. This is what Black History Month should be about, not slavery. Slavery is not Black history. Slavery is American history. So let's talk about this man and the changes that he's making and standing up for Black people in the NFL and what could potentially be other leagues. There's just no real justification for the hiring practices of the NFL. In terms of not being able to find, qualified candidates, which is often, I think, a common retort whenever people talk about, affirmative action or like hiring policies that try to leverage towards equity. And so that's not the case with the NFL. In a league that's 70% Black, you can't say, well, we just can't find enough Black people who know about football. And so I think this is the happy Black History Month, Brian Flores.
Okay. And again, I said this is just the beginning. This is only the second day of this month, and these allegations have come up in the last 48 hours. So it's definitely a TBD, and stay tuned because more and more is going to come out. Now, two things I want to bring up. We know about the hiring practice of the NFL was so bad and blatant that they came up with the Rooney Rule, I don't know how many years ago. And it's 2022, still not helping. Right now, it's only one head Black coach. Shout out to Mike Tomlin. And you know what? They can say all they want about, that person didn't succeed and they failed, we're not going to hire them. But we know that's BS because there's too many other head coaches or coordinators that have failed, that have been fired and gotten rehired again. Now, John Gruden has a lawsuit. That was a former coach of the Las Vegas Raiders. He has a lawsuit out against the NFL. Now, you got Flores. The NFL doesn't want that smoke because in a court of law, they cannot supersede it. Hence, when St. Louis did a lawsuit against the NFL, that's why they had that settlement, because they knew if they had to open up those books and show certain things they don't want to expose, it's an ugly thing. So that's why they settled. And one thing I say with Flores, this lawsuit, I hope it doesn't get to a settlement. I want this to play out in court so stuff can be revealed officially, books can be open, because some people are thinking, again, you mentioned about affirmative action, Annie, that it's not needed. The NFL is a private organization, so they can, quote unquote, do what they want, per se. However, you still are not above the law. And it shouldn't be that we're still talking about Black coaches not getting a chance when you have majority of players are Black. We talked about this in NBA, and this past offseason, NBA, did they not do a little bit more hiring of Black head coaches and put a couple more people in senior leadership and management? It's not enough to us, meaning Blacks and former players still don't see enough of themselves, but it is more opportunities, or they're finally giving us opportunities. But if the NBA can do that, who's a multi-billion organization like the NFL, and the NFL is even richer than they are, why won't they? What is the problem? Why are the powers that be still thinking they need to sit there and make it a good old boys club. That does not, I guess, I said doesn't help their league, but they bring in the most money out of all the major sports. So I guess they're like, we're still making our money. And one more thing, I brought this up last week when I was watching one of the NFL games because I didn't watch the games like a couple years ago. I was upset at how their practices were with Kaepernick. But I said, so everybody just stopped kneeling like the whole problem went away. Because I noticed nobody's kneeling. Now, I know they said they played a Negro national anthem before games if you're live in this NFL game. And they had this, they got Jay-Z and there's people over halftime football shows. Okay, that still doesn't do enough, and it's blatantly shown here again with the hiring practices of not enough blacks. Or they're hiring them just to know that they're going to fail, and then it's the reason to get rid of them, and don't rehire them ever again. So it's just crazy that we have to go through this, but hopefully it gets resolved in court and not a settlement. If the settlement happens, then it should be to where he can be rehired. Because Kaepernick has not gotten a chance since. And I think part of that settlement, because he couldn't disclose it, they wouldn't let him be back in the league again. Even if that they had that little workout for him, I still think they already made their minds up. So we shall see on this one.
I mean, they made their minds up before that. And Flores is still technically a candidate for 2 open positions. I think once they've already made the decision to not hire him, it's not going to change the suit.
Once you put a lawsuit, I mean, take this out of NFL. In regular corporate jobs, once you have a lawsuit against your employer and you're still working there, they're not going to let you advance. They're not going to let you get it. You can get.
I mean, and then you have a retaliation claim with the department. Like as someone who
that's
works.
like saying, oh yeah, you had a police to protect you. When somebody's doing something in your house, yeah, they can come here and still kill you themselves. The police aren't always helpful. And again, retaliation clauses aren't always helpful either.
Well, someone who works in HR, I can tell you that I process them and we do something if someone feels like they were retaliated against for a form of claim. So,
and I've worked in a company where somebody did the same thing. They're not retaliated against. Yeah, and again, in my former company,
well, then you need to call a lawyer on your former company if they're not handling retaliation claims because that is against the law.
Can we bring up Miss Williams?
A lot of stuff a lot of people still do it, unfortunately.
Okay, well then that's where the lawsuits come.
But that's why I say even with the cops, how do people feel about cops? They're supposed to protect and serve you, yet they're the ones also killing you. I mean, it's different. So
their motto is not their mission. I don't care what the side of their cars say. Police officers' job is to respond to calls and to investigate crimes. It's not protect and serve. I don't care what they put on the side of their cars.
But when they're doing their oath, when they're sworn in as police officers, they're not saying that they're going to protect their community. The service, I mean, as long as you're a taxpayer, they do have to serve you. You're a taxpayer of that area. Just like
they are serving the county, the jurisdiction.
They are not the jurisdictions.
Despite how people use them, they are not a concierge service. But I think it's way different to talk about the individual actions of police officers and the actual federal law that prohibits retaliation in cases of whistleblowing or bringing lawsuits such as Brian Flores's to trial. To me, it's not at all the same thing. There's lots of data to show for the Department of Labor when lawsuits are brought in terms of the number of them that are retaliation cases. And he would probably, by not getting a job, have a better claim at a retaliation suit than even the one he has now. So I just think I wouldn't conflate those things. I understand the point that you're trying to make about having an overall lack of trust in systems. And I think that is fair to criticize. But I also think that the process that he's going through and the timing of it in terms of him not waiting until he doesn't get a job to file a suit to say this is what happened, in which case it could be interpreted like he's just salty. But even while he's still a candidate for 2 positions, he's saying immaterial of what these other teams do, what was done by these particular teams and in this situation is wrong. And even if that, like he said, when he made the rounds today, even if it cost him the opportunity, not only at the 2 positions for which he's currently a candidate, but if it cost him an opportunity to coach again, then it's worth it. And you take him at his word because of the timing and the process that he's gone through. And I mean, you got text from Bill Belichick that's like, congratulations, Brian. And he's like, did you mean white Brian or black Brian? And Bill was like, oops. I think immediately Bill Belichick went in his phone, and instead of just like BB or whatever, he put in Black Brian and White Brian so that he gets the right one next time he goes to texting.
That's messed up. All right, can we bring up Miss Williams' comment again, friend?
Sure.
Yeah, she said if no one talks about racism in sports and other organizations, there won't be any. I don't know what that word is. What impetus? I don't know what that means. You guys all say big words on this show.
There won't be any spark or initiative or drive.
Williams, I'm a little young and slow. I'm gonna need you to put some common words in these comments. I will say it's nice having Bunny and Annie back together. You guys always get in these like like we start bringing up the Cowboys or something later, like it's gonna get heated. And
yeah, I mean, we're on the football. I wanted to get Annie, but I said I'm gonna wait because I wanted to start off with the topic.
There's nothing to get Annie about.
Yeah,
Miss Williams. Impetus. Word of the day. I love it. It's a new feature we're going to add to Ladies' Night.
Word for the day. Yes.
We're going to throw out some SAT words for the kids and get them studying. So I love it. Yeah, and for the adults.
That is true.
I love it.
Yeah, so again, like I said, with this Flores and NFL, this is definitely be TBD and to be continued. It's TBD to be determined what's the outcome. Because again, active lawsuit and you're still going to work for the employer. If I was on an owner of even a small company and I have an employee swimming and they're still working there, I'm going to be hesitant about having them advance unless I'm forced to because of the legal reason or the lawsuit where that was part of the judgment. Because I have to look at you a different way. Again, if I'm not knowing what the issue is until the lawsuit happened, if I know I'm part of the collusion, that's different. But if I know nothing, I'm like, whoa. So that's why I said active.
And they'll roll back this footage from tonight and say, Bunny said if someone ever sues her and then she doesn't allow them to advance, she's not going to allow them to advance because she's going to look at them different. And then this clip here will become Exhibit A in your retaliation lawsuit.
Have at it, because I don't plan on owning and having employees. I have a one ownership company, and that's it. One employee, one CEO. That's me. Nobody else. But that's fine. Again, I'm just keeping it real because other people, you can take this outside of business and use it for other things that you will do amongst friends. Almost like somebody that's backstabbing you, and then at the same time in your face and be like, "Hey, I'm still gonna do this for you, but I'm still." Mad about what you did to me, and I'm still gonna tell the world, even though I'm still do this to you. Like, what?
But that's part of the collusion because the NFL is not his employer. Each team is their own business. And so basically, it would be like if you get fired from Target, and then Walmart was like, well, we're not going to hire you because we see how you do retail stores. It's not going to another Walmart. Or going to another, if you get fired from Target, it's not like going to another Target. It would be like going to a different chain and them being like, you did my competitor dirty, so I'm not going to hire you, right? So that's how you know it's the collusion piece is because otherwise there would be a competitive advantage to a team saying, oh, he's on bad terms with this team or this team feels something. But he's a great coach. He got the Miami Dolphins to their first winning seasons in back-to-back years. He took a team that had lost like 6 straight and then won 8 straight. Like he's managed all of these things. As my competitor, I would definitely want to hire him away. That's what you see in most business practices is, oh, let's go poach this person. Oh, let's go take this person away. That's why the NFL changed their NFL ownership changed the rules about how early they could talk to coordinators because they were losing out because they felt like they had to get some people whose teams were already out of the playoffs because the earliest that you could talk to people wasn't until like this week coming up, the week between the Super Bowl. And so they were like, no, we want to be able to poach people even sooner. So that's how you know that there's a collusion piece going on between these 32 independent companies, because otherwise this would not be in their business interest to all decide that they're not going to hire somebody who is successful.
Okay. Well, again, We shall see. It's sad that we even have to keep talking about this Rooney Rule and what's not happening in the NFL, but they make so much money, and it's like off the backs of whom, and yet the people that can help manage them on the field can't even look like them. Like you have a big disparity. I mean, we can talk about that in other business sectors and other corporations, but it's just obvious for entertainment reasons. It just doesn't make sense. And at this point, it's only I don't know if the NFL sees it because they're still making so much money that if it's going to hurt them compared to the other organizations that have black players that want to have black coaches and managers, which is really on NBA. MLB has fallen off with black players. They the minority, and they don't have any black managers except Dusty Baker and maybe the Hispanic one with the one the Cardinals just hired. But still, it's just it's just all throughout. It just gets really old, but changes come, like Ms. Williams said, you have to bring it up. And maybe the next generation of people that can make decisions and be owners and see like they don't like it, everybody looking the same color or the same way and may do some change. That's how we'd be further advanced than where we are now, but we shall see.
I have no hope for that. People have been saying that it seems like every generation is counting on somebody's kids to do something when they grow up, but you're being raised by the racists.
Well, sometimes people
do anything different.
You know how many racist parents there are and their children aren't racist though? It splits up.
Do you know how many there still are?
In the classroom, like, do
you realize how many people there still are though? Like correct. I feel like that's the minority.
Correct.
Right? You're good.
But you're still also looking at if they're not going to change in
environments where they grew up.
It feels like basically the people that are now the adults. It's a lost cause. And that's why they look for the next generation. You always say the children are the future.
But you can't say that's a lost cause when those are the people who are raising the future.
You said what?
You can't say that the people who are the adults now are in charge now are a lost cause when those are the people who are raising the future.
Correct. But at the same time, for people who have come from backgrounds where they were raised being racist, and then they're adults that are like, no, that's not right. Everybody that's
a minority though. Because you have to have meaningful.
It's a minority for a lot of people, you can say. Because that's just like how some people feel like, oh, they were raised in a heterosexual family and then the children are gay. Then like, okay, so everybody behind them is going to be gay. No, that's not true. Or somebody that, oh, they have gay parents and the kids are going to be gay. No, that's not true either. But because they're being raised from nowhere, then they're going to turn out that way.
Because to me, homosexuality is a part of how you're born, whereas racism is learned. So to me, like I'm not going to equivocate those, so I don't know how to combat that argument because I don't think we're talking about the same thing. But to me,
well, I'm talking about brought that up.
If you look at how many teams, if you look at how many NFL teams are owned by families, where somebody owned it back in the day, it got passed down to the son, and now the son is running it, and they've got their son in line to run it. There's been nothing to indicate that the people who are running teams now, that their fathers or grandfathers ran, are doing anything different. And there's no indication that their sons who are sitting next to them in these box seats, watching these same players doing these same things, are saying anything different, or they would say it now. You're talking about the future generation. The people who own the teams, their kids are grown. They're not raising babies. If these people had opinions that were divergent from their old ass daddies, then they are grown enough to say it right now. You think Jerry Jones' son is older than me? If he didn't think like his daddy, he's had a lifetime to come out here and say, I don't think like my daddy. I would have let the players do whatever they want to do. I wouldn't have told them to stand, toe in the line. Or any of the other owners, right, that continue to pass these teams down family by family. There is no indication to say that, you know what, so-and-so who's next in line to go run. So, like if you look at Disney, and one of the Disney heirs is like out in front with hers about like how she, you know, is divergent from her family's views about things. So there would be an opportunity to be out there now if you were like, I'm next in line for this team. I don't feel that way. When daddy kicks the bucket, I'm going to change things. No, they're sitting in boxes next to their dads, learning from them, doing all the same stuff. There is absolutely no indication to believe that people who are already in their 40s or 50s, who will be the next owners when the current owners pass away, will suddenly do something else. So now we're saying that their children who are like in their 20s, who are like coaching with people who are the white coaches who are coaching these teams now, that they're going to have kids that maybe one day won't be racist and will do something different.
So if they're not hiring somebody that's not, quote unquote, not majority, so whether Black, Hispanic, does that mean that they're racist? No.
These practices are absolutely racist. I don't care who you are.
Okay, so you just said that if you're talking about the owner's kids who are not saying anything,
right,
and just going along, I said, if you say nothing, you're part of the problem. That is true. However, does that equate to your being racist? No.
I don't care what you are as an individual. These practices are racist.
Okay, the person are racist. That means that person's racist too. I just said if they don't speak up, that's part of the problem.
That they're in.
That doesn't mean you're a racist because you're not speaking up. You're part of the problem of not getting a solution. Does that mean that you do not like anybody that's not white? No. You're part of the problem, though. Speak up and speak out. Now,
right, but they're not. That's what I'm saying. You're saying they're the future. You're saying that the people who don't speak up and speak out are the future. And that they're going to do something different.
Okay, so another thing. Wait. You just said what's going to be different from their father and their grandkids who are 20-something not speaking up. Right. Their grandfathers was not in college with people that were Black or Hispanic or Native American or whatever non-white person. That is
just so I make sure that I'm clear. Just so I make sure that I'm clear. I just want to make sure I'm understanding what you're saying. I want to make sure I'm understanding what you're saying. You're saying that there is no way for white people to go to college and continue to be racist?
I didn't say that.
Okay, because you're just talking about they'll go to college and then magically,
I said the one the
I feel differently now.
Not okay. Anything that I'm saying, of course, is not for everybody, but there are some that when they've gone to college and in their 20s, who the grandsons of these owners, they have been football friends and buddies in the locker room. Sometimes some of them are two-faced and be like, hey, a high five. They got Black friends and teammates, and then soon they're with their white friends. They don't know them, and they're racist. And there are others who embrace them and truly are a friend. And we'll look out for them.
Name one person who's in line to lead an NFL team that you are putting the hope on will change the culture of hiring practices in the NFL. Whose tweets are you following that gives you the hope of the world to believe that one day
like all hope is lost? That's what I should be like. All hope is lost. I mean, at the same time,
it's not that all hope is lost. No, I think that I didn't say all hope is lost.
All the races in this country that you still would have seen that Black president at one time. Who'd have think at all this time in this country that you would not have seen an NBA owner that's Black, but you do.
Okay,
right?
What's the next topic? When people bring up Obama and conversations about racism being solved, that's when you know it's time to change topics.
I didn't even say racism was solved. I said you got all these races in this country and you still happen to have a Black president. I just said you also have finally got an NBA owner that's Black. We only got one. Who would have thought that happened 20 years ago? Right. So I'm just saying all hope is lost. I'm saying I am not giving up hope. That is my whole point of this. I'm not giving up hope. Is it a long shot? Probably. But it's a long shot for a lot of other stuff. And as you said, we're happy that Flores is talking about this in Black History Month. Look at all these Black trailblazers. Had to go hit the fan before finally stuff had to change. I'm just saying, this is something that I'm not giving up hope on. The NFL could be effed up for another 40 years. I'll be dead in 100 years. And finally, if they're still around, they could change. I may not see it in my lifetime, but I'm going to not give up hope. And I'm hoping somebody under me, since the power to be right now ain't trying to have it change, can do something about it. That's all.
Got you. I'm putting my hope in let's sue some people, hit them where it hurts, which is their money, embarrass them and shame them to do something different. That's where my hope lies. My hope does not lie in racists giving birth to children who will go to college, meet magical Negroes, and decide that they're no longer going to continue their daddy and granddaddy's practices when running teams.
Well, it all boils down to money. Money. Who got the money that can put up against
because they're businesses with money? So that is what
it's money against money. What group wants to follow the person with this money to say stop these practices, and what group was to follow the person with this amount of money and say keep the practices the same? It's money against
literally
money.
Talking about businesses, and that is the purpose of a for-profit business is to generate money.
But with their practices, racist ways, not trying to advance as they think they are with the messages on the helmets on the field, they're still making money. when they're so unethical, still making money. That's why I said they don't see a rush to have to change. This is PR stunts for a lot of stuff. When Kaepernick got that workout again, when they said, all right, we're going to say, hey, end racism. We're going to have this hashtag NFL, hope dreams, whatever they have. Again, you're making so much money. We're just doing PR stuff, but we don't care. We don't. As long as my pockets stay fat. And that's why I said I want Flores to take this to the court of the way. Don't take a settlement so we can get this stuff exposed. The Rams about to get their stuff exposed, and they took the settlement. The St. Louis took the settlement against the Rams. It's like, bam. I was waiting for them to open up the books and so how much stuff they've been doing wrong with money, how they lied and said St. Louis as a city didn't have what it takes to fund a football team and have all they wanted.
This is going to go to a settlement.
I want to know eventually what's the money going to go to, but that's a whole other story for another day. Meantime,
he's the one who's losing wages as a result. It's going to him and his grandkids who will go to college and cure racism because they'll meet the owners.
Again, I just ain't giving up hope. That's all I can say. Yeah. Maybe Baby Joe could be out there and she marries somebody that has money that's going to be an NFL owner, and Baby Joe can help change her mind. All right.
If we're like that, us talking about the business side of it with the NFL, yeah, probably no hope. The world, I'm with Bunny, like there's hope, obviously, like obviously things have changed. I don't know if this is a legit question because I seen this on Twitter today, and Twitter is I hate it half the time, but I don't even know what the tweet was, but a white person commented on it and they were being attacked for voicing their opinion on something like this. So like a serious question, like, me as the only white host on this show, is it bad for me to give opinions on things that have to do with Black history or things like this that happen?
Is it bad for you to
What's your opinion? It depends
on
your opinion.
Well, no, I'm just wondering, just in general. Yeah, no, just
what you say.
Anything you like.
Yeah, you can roll back the tapes on what I said. Like you said, you roll back the tapes on me. Fine. So if I get sued by somebody in the company, they can roll this back. But no, have at it, Joe.
Yeah, no,
not censoring. No, we're here.
Not even in this topic. Just in general, I feel like it doesn't even have to be with the whole racism thing. I just feel like people think if you don't have any history in something, you can't say it. That's like I said in past. Is that Sasha?
Hey, baby girl.
Say hi. You say excuse me because you heard she was talking. Say excuse me. Okay, she was talking. Okay.
No, I was just gonna say, like I've said before on the show, is like the whole COVID thing. I like to try to bite my tongue about it because I know people get really pissed off on social media if you don't have the same opinion as them, and that goes for anything. It goes about politics and racism and sports, like the stupidest things, sports, or even just things that people like, hobbies. If you have a dumb opinion about something, people rip you about it. So I don't know, I just thought it was silly to see I see people have their own opinions about different things and they get ripped about it, and I saw that today. And again, like I said, I'm the only white person that's on the show half the time, and I didn't know if it's bad to, like, I just watch you guys talk. You guys are doing your thing, and like I said, you guys go crazy when you guys are both on the show. So I'm just sitting here with my popcorn listening.
You sound like Fred.
Yeah, I mean, the thing is that, so the isms and issues that we have in the world are not up to the people who experience systemic oppression to solve. Mm-hmm. For racism to be solved in the US, white people have to do something. So in the purest academic sense of a dialogue, which is conversing to create change, when Black people talk about it, it's just a conversation. White people have to talk about it for it to be a dialogue and lead to change, right? Same thing with misogyny and with sexism. Men need to talk about it. Same thing with homophobia. Cis-het people need to talk about it. So it's not that, I mean, whether or not
saying that
to weigh in like a sports debate talk show, that's up to you. But in general, like, this is white people's problem to solve. Racism is white people's problem to solve.
But when I see white people comment on it,
is cisgender men's problem to solve. You said what?
I was saying though, like to my that someone on Twitter, and again, it's a bad example because it's Twitter. You know, it's so freaking violent and disgusting. But I'm saying like a white male comment on it. I don't remember what his comment was, but I didn't think it was bad, and he was being attacked, saying that he didn't have a say in it because he's not black. Like, so you're saying white people are the ones need to fix it, but then if they try to say something, they get attacked.
What I see when I've seen attacks, the only time I've seen attacks, and I don't see a lot of them because I don't, one, indulge in recreational sadness, and two, I don't do stuff that makes me unhappy. So if I'm like, Twitter's terrible, I'm not going to be on it. But the only time
I'm barely on it now because of everything's negative.
Yeah,
really.
I don't do stuff that doesn't make me happy. But the only time I've seen anybody come for white people is when they try to micro invalidate people's experiences.
I was about to say experiences, yeah.
Right. So if you tell me, oh, I don't think that's racist, no, you don't get to tell me how I experience something. If you say, let's create a solution, then go ahead, talk your talk. So that's the only time I've seen people come for somebody else is when they try to tell them this is not what you're experiencing. But maybe something different is happening on the Twitter because
I don't even know how some of these people show up on my Twitter feed. Like the person that tweeted whatever they tweeted, I don't even know them. They had a check mark, so there's someone, I guess. But
they are somebody.
So there's somebody, I guess, but I don't know. But we've been talking this topic for like 40 minutes, and we have a whole other stuff to talk about. So I feel like we should move on.
Ronda Rousey, that's your girl, right?
I mean, I love Ronda Rousey because I just think she's a badass. I know there's people that don't like her, but it's whatever. And she's also a gamer, which is pretty cool. But me and the husband were watching Royal Rumble the other night, and she popped up, and I got pumped. I sat down most of the night and watched the rest of it. So, but yeah, I guess she's going to be at WrestleMania.
Okay, you excited?
Yeah, I'm excited. You know, like Ronda Rousey was in St. Louis this past weekend. That's dope. I like that. And I know people are annoyed that she won, but again, we'll see her in WrestleMania, and I think it's good. But I'm not the wrestling pro on this show, and I don't know if we mentioned it on the pre-show. Is Sharita not coming on tonight?
Yeah, Sharita unfortunately had an untimely death in her family, so she wasn't going to make it on the show tonight. However, she still is a WWE guru, and hopefully she'll join us for next month for our next ladies' night.
Did you guys watch it at all, or no?
Ronda Rousey.
Did you guys watch any of the Royal Rumble, or no?
I don't think I get to watch besides
Come on, Annie, you're Sharita's friend. Let's go.
I don't think I get to watch beside my eyelids.
I don't like everything my friends like.
What else?
You like that stupid song?
No, that song is dope. So,
what song?
First of all, don't trip. Everybody loves that song, Joe.
I could.
Don't put this on my friends. Everybody loves Froggy Fresh, a Christmas song.
Jeez Louise.
Speaking of,
oh gosh,
I keep it at my desk.
There we go. John Cena. That belt.
Bless her heart. WWE in the building with her little belt. All right. With her little man.
What I'll say is, like I said, me and the husband watched that the other night. Excuse me. Randy Orton popped up, and let me tell you, the dude's still fine. He still got it, okay? Randy Orton, and he had the stash going. He was looking real good.
Not the stash.
He had the stash going.
Is he your risk it all? Did you tell the hubby he's your risk it all?
Oh no, I got a couple of those. It's whatever.
Well, we ain't got a rundown of your risk it all list.
We're very vocal about this stuff, and we talk about this stuff all the time. Okay, like I even got a girl list as well. It's whatever. But so Randy Orton popped up, but he was only there for a little bit because Brock Lesnar. You know, I can't stand that guy. I think I said it last time, but he lost his belt, and you know WWE has their little the writing, and Roman Reigns helped him lose his belt, which is whatever. That was cool. But then Brock Lesnar comes in, and then he freaking knocks out like 8 people in a row, Randy Orton being one of them, and that kind of annoyed me. But it's whatever. But the show was nice. It was cool. People are upset that they want more newer people, newer fighters to kind of take the show now, but they still had some of these old guys like Brock Lesnar. So but now I'm excited for WrestleMania. We used to watch wrestling about 5-6 years ago, really into it, and that kind of got me excited again. So definitely probably gonna watch that.
All right, cool. Well, again, keep me posted. I mean, I don't have anything against wrestling, but it's not at the top of what I watch, especially with a lot of lack of sleep nights. Besides watching my eyelids, I may catch a late NBA game. I mean, those are teams on the West Coast.
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah.
Yeah, I mean,
Also,
wrestling's not usually my thing either, but it was on. You know, it was a cold weekend, and it was in St. Louis, so why not? You know, so I might be sunk back in.
I got you. What was I gonna say? Oh, sorry guys. While we take a quick little pause here. Thank you all for tuning in to the Platform Sports Talk Show. And everybody that is on Facebook or YouTube, make sure you subscribe. I forgot my bill, guys. I so forgot it. Yeah, I'm a little rusty. There's Jumbo with my imaginary bill. And we also have our save shows on Roku channel as well. And again, plugging in the Man Cave. It will be coming at the last Wednesday of the month, starting in March. So the Man Cave. Guys, tune in. You got a whole bunch of fellas, got a lot of topics, a lot of things to say. And Andy asked earlier what's going to make them different from the other sports shows. But you got to tune in and find out, you know. They can't spill all the beans right now, honey. They got to give you something to look forward to.
I'll be waiting in suspense not to watch it.
Oh, listen to her. Now, see, I was gonna let it alone, but that's a Dallas Cowboy fan talking like that. So I think you guys got the most memes up until the thing with Brady finally retiring. So yeah, those Cowboy fans are really getting the memes done on them. They earned it. No sympathy.
We are the most popular franchise in the world. So
most popular.
Expected. And
I thought that was like 20 years ago when y'all was winning Super Bowl.
No, it's still to this day.
Because
my team isn't even in the playoffs, and you brought them up before you brought up.
No, I said that's just personal to you. I know that's the trigger for you. So trust me, they do not spend time in my head.
You, they live rent free in your head.
Time in my head. Hell,
we don't even talk about the Cowboys when you're not on the show.
I'm forgetting stuff.
We did 3 months of shows without talking about the Cowboys. They live in your head, not
no. It's just that time I see you equate to the sad Cowboys face. That's what it is.
I will say every time you two are both on the show, Cowboys pop in my head and the LeBron and Jordan debate hops in my head. So I'm just saying.
Those are Bunny's topics.
But
Joe, Bunny is the common denominator in those situations. We went 3 months without a ton of Cowboys talk. We went 3 months. I don't think I mentioned LeBron James.
It always is Cowboys sad face.
Those are Bunny's triggers.
I will say anytime that we have someone from 101 on the show, Fred has to throw in there that I'm an Astros fan. So maybe that's Fred free in his head too.
Exactly. I don't know why y'all people be giving.
It's just your face in place what a sad Cowboys fan looks like. That's what it is. Speaking of football and the whack Cowboys, so the damn Rams, I will call them the damn Rams. Unfortunately, they have won enough games where they have gone to the Super Bowl again. 2 times LA Rams franchise in the last 5 years going to the Super Bowl. And I'm like, oh, you know, I'm rooting against them. However, they're going to try to pull off a good old W against the Cincinnati Bengals. You know I'm rooting for the underdog, okay? But it's going to be in LA. So it's like they get a home field advantage, and they didn't even ask for it. It's like, what the hell else can you do with Cronky? Huh?
What do you mean home field advantage? That was 49ers Nation last week. What are you talking about?
Well, since 49er Nation, they don't have any other teams in California to compete against. Cincinnati.
I mean, there was a lot of Cincy fans in KC. Last week
it's a further trip they made. I mean, I've heard that LA hasn't been a lot of fans like they thought.
I'm just saying that. I mean, football fans are crazy, okay? Sports fans are crazy, so I'm sure you'll see a decent amount of orange there. Not this Sunday, but next Sunday.
Mm-hmm.
But all I'm saying, I don't know if you guys seen me put this in our little chat about Tim the Tap Man on. He's a video game streamer, and he's picked every single team that's lost so far up to this point.
Mm-hmm.
And ESPN did a little video about it because he's getting a lot of heat about it. And he picked the Rams. So there's hope. There's hope that the Rams are going to lose because Tim the Tap Man has picked them to win it all. So Let's go, Joe Burrow and the Bengals.
I don't know who Tip the Tap Man is or whatever his name is. I just need to know whose jersey was Drake wearing, because that's going to tell you who's going to lose.
Oh, Drake always sporting a loser team's outfit? Not jersey, I'm going to say outfit. Okay, well, hopefully he's wearing a Rams jersey because I want them to lose and lose bad. But I mean,
are you guys excited about this halftime show?
Honestly, because I'm an 80s baby, I want to see what they're going to do. Because think about it, by the time the 90s came around, Mary J was the bomb, Dr. Dre was the bomb, Snoop. I mean, all these are from when I was growing up. Now, I don't know what they're going to do. I don't know. I hope it's nothing too new, because then it's going to be
feel like it's a lot of star power for a short amount of time. But I do hope there's a Pac hologram or something, because it's California, you know, a party, all that good stuff. And Pac's my guy. So I do think they should be able to do something like that. But yeah, I'm hoping it's not just like 20 seconds of each song and that's it. Because again, that's a lot of star power right there.
They got to do the classic. But I'm thinking, like I said, I'm an 80s baby. So by the time the 90s came around, we all heard their music on the radio. I was like, okay, they got the hits. But then I'm like, damn, they got everybody on that stage that's going to be like above 50, except Mary. Oh, no, Mary's almost there too, if not 50. Eminem. But I was like, age ain't nothing but a number. Bring on the hits, you know. But I don't know if the younger generation could, you know, understand the nostalgia behind it, because these are some great artists, like what we grew up on. So I hope
Anna, you said no.
Really?
I don't like live music, so I don't get excited about anybody's concert.
A lot of the halftime shows I'm not feeling. I mean, the first time Bruno did it, I was like, oh, okay, good.
I love the first time he did it. Yeah, the second time with Beyonce and Coldplay, I was like,
yeah, I was like, that's what I was like. First time he rocked, the second time,
I love Beyonce's first time by herself, and then, you know, I don't know. That's what I'm saying though. Coldplay, Bruno, Beyonce. That's just 3 people. Now we got 5 big, you know, big headliner type people. So I don't know how it's gonna go, but I'm excited about it. That commercial got me hyped. So
yeah. Well, okay. A difference between the upcoming one with Mary J, Eminem, Dre, Snoop, they're all in the same genre. If you got Coldplay, Beyonce, and Bruno, different genres. So that's why it didn't flow. Like if you get everybody in the same genre, that helps though. So we shall see what they plan on doing, how the dance is going to woo everybody or not woo them. We'll see.
Yeah, I'm excited.
So, yeah.
I don't respect the halftime show until they restore Janet's name.
Girl, we'll see.
Y'all watch the documentary with Janet.
I haven't watched it. You did watch it?
I tuned into pieces of it. I'm not that fascinated with that family to like commit hours to it. But I caught the highlights.
Okay. What are we talking about? Janet Jackson.
There's a Janet Jackson documentary that's out where she talks about, among other things,
everything
on Justin Timberlake stripped her. Yeah.
On what streaming service?
I have it on Hulu.
Hulu. I like those types of documentaries, so we'll see.
Yeah, she's talking about everything under the sun, basically in her life. So, and speaking of, we talking about the Super Bowl. What are y'all predictions officially, Annie?
Bengals.
Okay.
I haven't even thought of a score.
I just want
them to win.
Yeah, I'm going Bengals, and I don't have a score, but their kicker's pretty confident, and he's good. So I'm going to say by 3.
Okay, I'm going with Bengals. I'll hold my breath, 24-17.
I would love for the Bengals to win by 3. I do like that kicker. The thing is that the Rams have a lot of players I like, but Rams fans are so insufferable that I don't think I would be able. Talk about having to get off social media. I would have to block some people if the Rams win another Super Bowl.
Stanton being number 1. Where's he at? Stanton.
Well, I'm not.
I know. That's
I'm not connecting to him on social media, but there are other people that I would have to block because they're so insufferable.
Well, Miss Williams says she thinks the Bengals will take it. So we
well, there you have it. We know who the winner is.
That's the winner right there, Miss Williams.
Yeah, if anybody's a good luck charm, it's Miss Williams.
Mm-hmm. I wish, and we were talking about this, I wish I could be happy for Matt Stafford if they won because I generally like the guy. But now that he's on the Rams, I don't like the guy. if that makes sense. You know, it's kind of like Javier Baez when he was with the Cubs. Can't stand the guy. He's a little, yeah. And then now that he played with the Mets and now he's going to be with the Tigers, I'm like, he's all right. That's just how it goes, you know. But Matt Stafford, now I'm like, screw you. Don't like you and your little story and your wife trying to fight your battles for you. So that's that.
Okay. I got you. Well, look, if nothing else, if y'all talking about the Twitter is a negative space or gets on your nerves, then you'll join the bandwagon with Jeff Garcia because apparently he deleted Twitter after what happened. Jeff Garcia, oh, look at him, got the nerve to get in his feelings. He asked for it. So, if you don't know, who is Mina Kimes to him anyway, y'all? That's ESPN's reporter, but is she anything special to him, or she said a comment? That's when he said his comment, or
he's a sexist who went after a woman.
Okay, so they don't have like no personal
No.
relationship. No, it's just random. He went after her. Okay,
because she's a woman.
But he deleted his Twitter because he got his feelings when people were clapping back at him. You brought this. You came for the smoke though, and what? I don't understand the problem.
Right.
So is he officially considered a sexist now, or just he made sexist comments to Amina Kimes?
Doesn't matter.
I mean,
if the water you pour is dirty, or you a dirty faucet, or is it just the water? Who cares? I ain't drinking this glass of black water, so I don't care how he classifies himself. He did a thing. He deserved to make his account private. He went after her because she was a woman, and comments that she made on a show, sitting on a panel with other men saying the exact same thing, and he decided to go after a woman. So,
as Fred just said in our little chat, it's because she said Jimmy G's overrated, and I will say, who's the announcer?
Mad because a woman said that Jimmy G is.
Well, yeah, that's what I'm about to get at. So, who does the game with Buck? Who's the guy that usually does the games with Joe Buck?
Troy Aikman.
Okay,
he's a hater.
He was ripping Jimmy G a new one that whole game, and he didn't say anything about him, Jeff Garcia. Maybe he did. I didn't see it. It's not, it doesn't get as much heat. Like he said, it's because it was a woman that said it. Exactly. Baseball's got one of these former players as well. His name's Aubrey Huff. And I don't know if you guys have seen that ever, but he's constantly saying, like, pretty much get in the kitchen and make me a sandwich woman. So he gets ripped a new one constantly by people all over. So there's one everywhere.
There's more than one, because even though he got enough hate to make his comments private, to make his page private,
but he acting like
he wasn't alone.
That's acting like you're gonna delete your Twitter page after you came for that smoke, you got clapped back, got dogged out, and now all of a sudden you and your fifis? Really? No. But you want to go after a woman for making this comment, but all of a sudden you can't handle it. Maybe you can, but you're gonna act like you a little bitch, like I said, and delete your Twitter because you don't want to hear it. Whatever. I just can't understand when people go after stuff, say it, and then I guess they thought it was supposed to be crickets and nobody say anything. You already doing stuff nationally. You're a former player, so I just don't understand why you thought it was just gonna be nobody saying anything. Like, whatever. But then I'm gonna feel like I'm
because he had faith in Jimmy G.
Well, yeah, okay. Well, apparently he got what he deserved and then some. Last but not least,
he had to make his page private.
Then that begins. Gonna say
because he didn't make his page private because people were initially upset. He made his page private because when Jimmy G'd in that game, Mina, all she did was tweet out that meme of what's his name, who's like, and turns and walks away. And everybody retweeted it at Jeff Garcia to the point where that's all that was on his timeline. That's why he made his page private.
In his fifis.
He was upset because she was right.
Exactly.
It was
he made a case that she couldn't know.
Brutal play.
It was the most Jimmy G thing I've ever seen in my entire life. I called it before everybody called it before it happened. I'm not even going to act like I'm a genius. Everybody saw that play coming at some point. I'm just surprised it didn't happen earlier.
Which was worse? Which was worse, the Jimmy G one like that or Kyler Murray's like that? Because they're almost identical right there towards the end zone. They were bad, both of them.
Kyler Murray?
Yeah, against the Rams in the first game of the playoffs.
I would say Kyler Murray because I expect better of him. I don't get mad with Jimmy G's.
Well, Jimmy G and
what's his quarterback again from Arizona?
Kyler Murray.
Kyler Murray.
Was he? Like we said it 5 times.
My memory is horrible. Okay,
pregnancy brain. It happens.
Man, it's horrible.
It was even worse than Matthew Stafford's.
Is he exposed, or did people get hip to him, or is he just had bad games?
Who?
Because Kyler Murray, for you said, Joe, that you expected that out of him, but I'm like, he hasn't had a bad season, so I
didn't expect that out of Kyler Murray. Kyler Murray had last terrible 10 weeks of the season.
That's what I'm saying. Basically, his whole season, you can sum up his season. He had more bad than good plays.
I don't think that's true. I think he had more great plays. He was an MVP candidate until he got hurt, and then he was hurt for most of the season. He only played 2 games before the playoffs, 2 or 3 games.
It was Kyler. I'm just saying, Kyler Murray and the Cardinals themselves played like ass from week 10 on. The Niners were the complete opposite, though. The Niners were complete
Kyler Murray
opposite.
wasn't playing, and DeAndre Hopkins was out. So
no, they had a lot of injuries. That's what I'm saying, though. I wasn't surprised that happened to Kyler Murray and the Cardinals in that game because it wasn't good for about 2 months, and then the Niners were good for the last 6 weeks or whatever up until that very moment. So. They're both embarrassing and brutal plays that obviously probably cost them their games. And now we got to watch the Rams in 2 weeks.
How about I just tune in on the halftime show and watch the second half? I don't want to give Stan Kroenke any credit for all that.
And now Tom Brady won't be there to save us like he did last time against the Rams.
Oh, geez. Speaking of Brady and Big Ben announcing their retirement, what do you think is going to happen to the Bucs and the Steelers as far as their next leader as quarterbacks?
I think Jimmy G will go to the Steelers. And the Bucs have a problem, so they need to do something.
Bucs window's
what
done.
It is, I think it depends on the new coach in Miami, whoever it ends up being, how they feel about Tua Tagovailoa, and whether or not they bring in one of the other quarterbacks who the owner said that he really wanted because he was the one who wasn't a fan of Tagovailoa. And then I think Tua could go to Tampa Bay. And if they renew all of their free agency contracts, they'll still be a great team. And they can get a third receiver out of the draft. I think Wirf's injury is understated in terms of the impact it had on the rush getting to Brady. And so as long as he comes back next year and he's healthy, I still think that team is positioned to definitely win the NFC South, to still contend in the playoffs if they get just competent quarterback play. And Tua could be the answer for that.
Well, you think Gronk is going to come back too, though?
No.
He's done. He's calling career as well.
Yeah.
He's
probably just trying to let Brady have his shine, and then when all that calms down, then Gronk will be like, ditto.
Okay. And so, spin off from that, with Brady, again, we talked about this a while back, where everybody gave him the GOAT status, got the 7 rings, which MJ is my favorite player of basketball and athletes, most athletes. So he only got up to 6. But controversy, as I say, football only plays in general one side of the ball. Basketball, you're playing both sides of the ball. So yeah, I still give Brady the GOAT amongst all athletes, at least that has a ball in their hand. So I won't count Muhammad Ali. But
No. Serena Williams. Done. Next question.
Hey, what's your thoughts, Jobo?
I mean, I don't know if Brady's the number 1, but it's gonna be 1A, 1B. You know, like, I mean, it's Tom Brady. He's got, like you said, 7 rings, and whether people like him or not, he's seems to be a good human being, and it's gonna be weird watching football. Like, we were talking about it, and Mia's gonna be 7 years old when that guy's in the Hall of Fame. Like, that's just crazy to think about. He was a quarterback my entire life for the most part, and one of the best to ever do it, if not the best to ever do it. And yeah, he's probably definitely right. I've never, I wasn't old enough to watch Michael's career. I just know of the track record and this and that. So of people that I got to see, yeah, probably Tom Brady, and then after that, who's that? Coach Brian Turner said Brady is the football GOAT, which is true. Yeah, Tom Brady. That's it. I'm gonna miss some. Like in St. Louis, you hated him at first, but if you weren't growing up, like, you can't get past all that other stuff that happened and then just realize that he is literally the GOAT, then you got to grow up.
Okay. So I guess because of football, they got so many more positions. It's so many moving parts. You generally put in your GOAT status of your best players, usually it's a quarterback and maybe sometimes a receiver or / running back. Because I'm trying to think, with all the yards you get, the quarterback always gets the most yards passing compared to a receiving yard of a receiver who did like 20 in the league, or even a running back. So if we're talking about the GOAT for football, maybe. I mean, Big Ben just said he was going to retire. If Big Ben would have played another 10 years, do you think he would have stacked up well against Brady, or not even close?
He barely made it through this year. No.
Yeah, watching him this year, it was getting a little rough. And I mean, it was even at the end of last year.
I was about to say, yeah, it wasn't this year. Hell, 2 years ago, honestly.
Yeah. So no, I mean, I really don't know. And we can sit here and talk about like Mahomes. Obviously, he's great. He's amazing. But like, just how he goes about slinging it, kind of like a shortstop does, and running all over the place. Mm-hmm. I just don't think that's going to last long, if that makes sense.
Then people gonna get adjusted and figure him out even faster on these next.
No, I don't think it's going to be adjusted. Mm-hmm. I'm just saying, injury-wise, I don't think it's going to hold up him running around like a chicken with her head cut off constantly. And honestly, it's infuriating. It's infuriating watching pretty much the entire opposing team chasing after this guy. But
isn't that what other quarterbacks have done, such as a Cam Newton, such as Lamar Jackson? Take it throwback.
Where are they?
Michael Vick. I mean, running with their heads cut off all over everybody trying to chase them because they're just moving. You saying, is it able to be done for so many years?
For him to be like,
I don't think
for him to be Tom Brady, for him to be a next Tom Brady, no, I don't think that's sustainable for him to keep.
Tom Brady didn't play like, you're talking about playing.
That's what I'm saying. Brady's game is the reason why, like, how he kept evolving and changing his routine and his health and all this and that. That's why he got to play for 22 years. Is Patrick Mahomes going to do that with how he plays? I don't think so.
He can adjust.
And be all the way up here. I don't think so.
Can he adjust? Again, no, they're two different sports, but in general, so in NBA, players who start off young, like to dunk a lot, go to the rim, bring it hard, posterize people. But if after so many years, of course, it's wear and tear on your knees and your joints, but you still got some good years on you, that start doing more jump shots and let's go into the rim, they adjust their game. So that's why I was wondering, in quarterbacks, are they able to adjust their game a little bit? Still got to throw the ball, but instead of running around, can you adjust it to do the Tom Brady and sit more in the pocket and hopefully get line protection?
I don't think he's going to go like exactly what Brady was doing, but I'm just saying if he stops running around constantly, then yeah, I think his career is going to be more with longevity, with it. Like I said, Tom Brady played 22 years and he had like 1-2 really bad injuries. I can see Patrick Mahomes getting hurt and down the road with how he plays the game. And I don't think he'll be playing 22 years.
Shoot, you remember the Super Bowl a couple years ago and they got their asses whooped? That line. But that's because their best lineman was injured. But that shows you is two parts: the quarterback himself plus his like if he's a right-handed person, that left tackle got to be on point. That definitely speed your career up faster if you keep getting on your back all the time because you're not getting that protection. So we shall see. All I say. One more thing with football. Washington football team is now called the Washington Commanders. I have no thoughts on them, but it's like, okay. Congratulations to them. Keep it moving.
Yeah.
I just thought it was funny that what's his name leaked it on a radio show before they even announced it.
Yeah, he did.
They tried to walk it back. I just thought that was hilarious.
Why does everything get leaked? Like everyone wants to be the first one to say something.
Sometimes
because
it's
they have the wrong
done.
people around them.
Sometimes it's purposely done, sometimes it's not. But I guess it gets people talking about you, keeping you relevant under the Google news feed real quickly. But
that was not purposefully done on their part, and because people be having the wrong people around them.
That's true. I guess people don't learn lessons after everybody else get in trouble with the wrong people around them. Still don't learn. Man, we talk so much from the NFL. I'm gonna try to run through
these. I don't like this sport, and we're talking about. We've been on this for an hour and 15.
I know, and I know NBA is my basketball is my love. I'm like crap. I gotta get talking about this February All-Star game will be here in a couple of weeks. NBA All-Star picks. So, I think they got it right or they got it wrong. Now, Jobo, do you even know some of the names of the NBA right now? Not being funny.
Oh no, I know like names here and there, but I'm not like I'm not gonna be able to drop some stats or anything.
No. Because if I mention the names, I just want to make sure you like, who is that? Or
I mean, I'll probably be like that with the majority of them, but I know some names.
Okay. Well, coming out of the Eastern Conference, the starters, KD, I know you know Kevin Durant.
Yep.
Giannis Antetokounmpo. I always messed it up.
Yeah, I don't know how to say his name, but I know
him. Okay. Joel Embiid, Trae Young, and DeMar DeRozan. Those are your Eastern Conference starters.
I like Trae Young.
Okay. And his balding is not bothering you. I didn't even know he had a bald spot today.
We talked about this on a show last year, I think, on Ladies' Night. And yeah, it's sad because he's so young, but
I didn't even notice it until they were chanting it in one of the playoff games. I'm like, he's balding, is he? I had no clue. LeBron is like his now. He's proud of his bald spot, and KD too. Oh, let's see. Western Conference All Starters: LeBron and Jokic, Andrew Wiggins. Damn, Wiggins got it. I forgot. Steph and Jay Morant. Oh my God, I forgot Wiggins. That is crazy. Let me speak on this first. I think that's a no bueno. Nothing against Wiggins. He's definitely gotten better since he left from being with Minnesota to getting out there with Golden State. Him being a starter, he's been clowning. But y'all know my love for CP3 is still there. And I could see him trumping Wiggins any day. But I know people sometimes go off of just the stats alone. And some people go off of, hey, he got better. He's like a comeback player, so let him give him his flowers now. But anyway.
Wiggins and Chris Paul don't play the same position, right? So Chris Paul wouldn't be his replacement, right?
It wouldn't be, but I still don't want him on the roster. I would rather see CP on there and have somebody else off. I would remove Wiggins. They don't play. No. Steph and CP are the same position.
Right.
But still, I'd rather see Wiggins off CP on there. That's my point.
You'd rather see CP on there than Steph, not Wiggins.
No, Steph. I mean, it's the way I want to do it. It ain't how the NBA would do it.
Oh, okay. Well, go for it. It's your world. Go ahead, create your team.
Exactly. Like
create
I don't even do
create your
fantasy,
dream team.
But this is my fantasy NBA All-Star roster.
Go for it.
So don't replace Steph. Keep him on there as well. But yeah, so that's what you got. You think anybody got slighted or anybody that should not be on there, Annie, or even Jobo? Or you think somebody else should be starters? Not saying some of these people are not gonna make the roster. It's just these are their starters. I'm thinking. Overall, it looks fine to me. Except I think in the Eastern Conference, Levine or Levine? How you pronounce it?
Levine, Zach
Levine. I
Levine.
think he could have gotten the starter spot. He's been balling too. Him and DeRozan are a great tandem together. But and this is how they figure this out. The voting is determined 50% from the fans, 25% from the NBA players, and 25% from the media. So I think I probably voted in one or two All-Star selections as a fan for NBA. I know I've done it a couple times for MLB, but I figure they're not hearing me, but whatever.
I mean, I always vote, but I just vote for all the Clippers players, so it doesn't really amount to anything.
I can't even crack any jokes. It's not fair with PG not being able to play.
I know.
Why just not just yeah.
My husband is out.
I can't even crack jokes.
My other husband is back, so I don't care about the All-Star game. I'm not gonna watch it. But have y'all seen my husband? He's been playing so well.
Who was your hubby again?
Klay Thompson. Act like you know.
Oh no! Well, people apparently act like they didn't know him because he wasn't voted in NBA Best 75 players.
He was.
People act like they didn't know him. Do you think he should have been on that list?
Yes, for sure.
So why do you think he got left off? How do people forget? 2 years of an injury is not leaving.
The reason why he got left off is because they kept the entire top 50 in the top 75. So they were really only adding 25 players.
Okay.
But the top 50 was not done as the top 50 players in the NBA. What they did was the top 10 at each position. And so there are people who were in the top 50 that I don't think would make it if you truly started from scratch and said who are the best 75 players, regardless of position.
But even with 25 spots, so we're talking about from 25 spots, he still didn't make it. That's I know there's a lot of good people out there, but I think he should have made the cut. Out of 25 position players, so forget the 50 they already had on there over the last 25 years.
Not over the last 25 years, over the last 75 years.
Well, I'm going because you're saying the 50 they left alone. They just added 25. Right. So that's somebody going the last 25.
So the 25 spots still came from the last 75 years, though.
Well, then they shouldn't. Anybody after the 50 shouldn't have been added on. Like
maybe number 51, and they wanted to be in the top 75.
You know what? There's always going to be somebody that's going to like the way you have it. Somebody.
I don't care what number he is on the NBA top 75. Number one in my heart.
Yeah.
Thank you, Joe.
There's a lot of these top 100 whatever players all time, and ESPN did one. It's getting a lot of heat on baseball players. They've only done 1 through 75, I think, so far. They had Derek Jeter ranked higher than Albert Pujols.
That's because of the media. Okay, like with this one, 25% for the NBA roster gets picked by the media. And that's where the issue, just like when you pick an MVP, it's like, what are they doing? The media, then they pick these lists or they get their say, is what's the word? It's skewed. I mean, let's spin off topic, but on a topic. MLB just did their finalists for Hall of Fame. Now, y'all know y'all boy Barry Bonds is not no go, neither is Clemens. But again, sometimes it's skewed because somebody can't get in the first time, nor the second, but they finally get in the third time. Like, really? Like the media, some of them, they definitely is biased. It's not always off of true talent or true what did they do for their team. It's like, I didn't watch West Coast games, so I'm not even going to acknowledge a West Coast player to be an MVP or put him on his roster. Yeah, especially sometimes people in media, especially the older writers, like bring age in it, but they like the way the game was back when they were younger. So if older players reflect that, they're fine, but the newer players don't reflect the game they like or how it should be, they don't acknowledge them to MVP status or even an all-star. And it's like, why? I'd say this. If the game doesn't evolve, you should be upset. because you should not want to see the same thing 20 years ago now. You should see something. If you want to see, as a fan, you're trying to be entertained and see something different. So if it's the same way over and over and over, that's not good for the game to me. But I think other media outlet people act like that too. We'll see how this game
I think
goes.
it's just people in general. I think people always think that, not always think, I think that people are inclined to think that when they were at their best, that that's when things were the best, and therefore they want things to stay the same. I mean, even in work, like people tend to want to hire people who remind them of themselves, who came up the way that they did it, who went to schools that they went to, who did their internship at the same places they did, like because they have that nostalgia, because those are the things that formed who they are as a professional. And so you're inclined to think that that is the way or the best way to do something. And so if you, at the height of your engagement with the sport, these were the people who were playing, this is how the game was done, you're always going to see that as, or you'll be more inclined to see that as its best. And then 20 years from now, when the people who are 20 see some unknown, some not yet born child play basketball, you will not be able to convince them that that person is better than LeBron James, because LeBron James was who was at the top of the game when they fell in love with it. He modeled for them what the game was supposed to be like. Or you'll never convince anybody of like my age and slightly younger, when when we get older, that anybody was a better shooter than Steph Curry. So, I mean, there's just nostalgia that's attached to it. And whenever you come to love things, come to know things, come to form your own list of who's the best and who's this and who's that, it's always challenging for people to move on from it. So the young people think they're on to the new thing, but then when they get our age and older, they're still going to think that that person was the best, even though there will be some new person who's on the scene doing things that we haven't seen before and revolutionizing the game and, doing whatever. And the NBA may institute a 4-point shot, and then people who are for the 3-point shot will be like, well, if Steph Curry had a 4-point shot, then he would have done this, the same way that people talk about people who played before there was a 3-point shot. Well, if he had a 3-point shot, then they would have done this. So, I mean, it's just history repeating itself.
Yo, if they created a 4-point shot, that'd be weird. Like, there's already some pretty high NBA scores. So, but I mean, it wouldn't bother me because I don't really care about basketball. But that'd be weird. Can you imagine playing basketball at your house? Like, I'm going for a 4-pointer. Like, how far back you gotta be? How far back you gotta be?
The half-court line, but people busting. You see how Steph does it, how Dame does it. It's nothing to them. Do it in their sleep. And if those two can do it consistently, and James Harden consistently now, 10 years from now, you're gonna have triple that. Because whatever is in the game right now, all the young kids that are watching it are only going to emulate their game, and it's going to be more people do it down the road. So 4-point play may be around for the next commissioner. He may, not 4-point play, sorry, 4-pointer. He may have it to where, let's try that. They get a little challenging. Like I said, the game has to evolve because eventually the same old is like,
like a trick shot or something. I don't know.
Okay.
That's your mom, right, Annie?
Yeah, that's my mama. When I say send
she
Jimmy
doesn't
G to
want
the Steelers,
she doesn't want.
She don't want them.
She gonna get Jimmy G though.
My husband thinks he's going to the Broncos because the Broncos coach said that what's his name, Locke's not a good quarterback.
The Broncos think that they're going to get Aaron Rodgers, which is why they hired the head coach that they did. So that's who they're banking on. I think that they're sadly mistaken.
Rodgers is done in Green Bay to me. I don't see him going back there though. Miss Williams said personally she thinks anything from half court and beyond deserves 4 points.
I wouldn't move the line or change the distance, but I think that we should have the regular 3-point shot and then a committee of 3 people who can award you an additional style point if you make it look really cool.
In the game?
Mm-hmm.
That's like saying if a home run goes over 450 feet,
yes, it should count for
extra
2.
run.
It should count for 2.
We don't need a committee for
That'd
that.
be too much. That'd be too much.
If it goes over just the regular, like into the stands, you only get 1 point. If you hit it out the park, you should get 2.
Annie, it's not called a point. It's called a run.
Oh, I thought she was talking about basketball. Wait, she switched because that's what I'm hearing.
What you want
basketball. Lord, girl, bless your heart.
I also think that they should award half runs if you do an exceptional bat flip.
All right, they could do this for like the Caribbean League, but we're still trying to get people to be okay with bat flips. You're not going to have people getting points for it. Or half.
Well, it'll change. Their grandkids will go to college, and then their lives will be revolutionized. They'll see things differently than they've always seen the game, and then they'll be like, "Yay, bat flips!" There's hope.
All right, we're back on this. All right, what's next?
Okay, couple more things. It's just Winter Olympics is coming up. Starts officially tomorrow. I'm just like, yeah, but okay. Shout out to all the athletes that train hard for it, though. And, of course, they got COVID protocols. Well, you got to get tested all the time. But it's here, but I'm not hyped up for Winter Olympics like I do for the Summer Olympics. So, again, hardworking athletes deserve to get their time to show off their talents. But, yeah, I have any thoughts on or anything exciting you're looking forward to on the Winter Olympics?
We touched on it last time. I'm excited for curling. We talked about that, but I mean, now that NHL players aren't really gonna be there at all, it's not really. That's usually something that I look interested into. Like however many years ago it was, whenever USA and Russia were going at it, like 6 a.m. I got up at 6 a.m. I think we started drinking at 6 a.m. to watch that. So I mean, but now it's not. I'm not going to see a Blues player, you know what I'm saying? So go USA, and that's what I got.
Got you.
Yeah, the Winter Olympics is the only time that I really get nationalistic about things. So I don't find any of the actual events interesting, but I'll check in every now and then to see where we are in the medal count and feel proud if the USA is in the lead. But wasn't my thing growing up. So it's not like I see myself in, the first curling. All right. See, go USA beating Australia at curling. First of all, where do you train for curling in Australia? That's how I feel about like hockey players from the South. Like, where are you doing this? How did you hone this craft?
They're somewhere. Wow.
So
their parents built them a rec center. Oh, there's my brother, Ben. Tom Brady the GOAT. He's like the biggest. He's just the biggest Tom Brady fanatic. That's.
Oh, okay. He's a fan. He puts the fan in fanatic.
He had the freaking page-long Facebook status breaking down his career and stuff, and TB12 forever. So
can we talk? I mean, I love Tom Brady too. Can we talk about the retirement that didn't officially happen, but probably happened? Well, I think Cam Newton should get more love.
Well, it was the media is not going to always embrace you, depending on how. We
can do it for ourselves. Like we just need
to celebrate. I don't know what he is.
That's my Black History Month celebration. Is Cam Newton.
Okay, Cam had to dab your way onto retirement. That's what you want. I like it. I love it. Okay. I'm just saying it's nothing against him. He did a comeback this season, but he may sit back on the sideline. He may come back out again if somebody looking for a quarterback. We'll see.
No, I think he's retiring, and not enough people are talking about it. And
well, then you just said we could do it amongst ourselves, and boom, go ahead and start a trending Twitter topic right there. Your Twitter.
That'll kick off my introduction to Twitter, and then also be at the end. The same way the Caribbean that's how they trained for curling and hockey in the South. The same way the Caribbean bobsled team did. Yeah, probably.
Okay, I'm here for it. Real quickly for you, had my kicker topic, WNBA. So in honor of us being Ladies' Night, of course, I like to highlight the wonderful things women do. including Becky Hammond. So she was the first woman assistant on the NBA side, working under Pop and the Spurs. She got hired as the head coach of the Las Vegas Aces. Shout out to her. I thought she was going to get an NBA head coaching job, but WNBA is just as good. She's going to hopefully turn their little team around. Now, the only thing that happened though, like we're going to congratulate her, celebrate her, yay! Her contract got posted online as well, and the dollars and cents of her contract struck a nerve with Liz Cambage. Liz is a WNBA player, and she had a tweet out there. Becky Hammond's contract, I forgot how much is it.
She'll make approximately $1 million a year.
Okay. And Cambage was like, hold up. So she's going to get that for being a coach. Yet as a players, they're barely making, 50 to 100K. And they got to come out of pocket if they want to travel first class on an airplane. He's like, oh, okay. So basically, miss me with that contract that she's getting and what the players are going through, which is opposite in the NBA side. NBA side, the players all make much, much, much more. I'm sorry. The big stars make much, much more than the coaches. The regular 6 men and backup players still make more than the coaches, but it's not as big. But the point is, why on the WNBA side is flipped. The coach is making much more than any of her players, probably combined with all their salaries. She's still gonna make more. And that's crazy. Like, I didn't know, like, if you're talking about a player coming out of pocket to get first class, like, wait, what? So what else are y'all dealing with that is not fair and the coaches aren't having to come out of pocket with? It almost sounds like how the disparity is in the NCAA college sports with men and women's basketball. That's exactly what it sounds like, except we're looking at it from the woman's side. Like, how is this happening? But then again, the NBA still oversees the WNBA, so actually not surprising as well. Anyway, what are y'all thoughts on what Cambage says?
I don't think that should happen in any sport regardless. Like, I feel like the players should always make more than the coach, but that's just me. Like, they are doing all the hard work and training their bodies and trying to get in the best shape possible to try to win. So, I mean, yeah, I agree it's messed up. But there's always been something with the WNBA and the pay. It's been a talk the last handful of years, I feel like. So it's like I said with football, nothing really surprises you. About you, Annie?
Actually, I don't like this topic to end ladies' night because we're talking about a woman going after another woman over pennies in comparison to what men
Well, for the
make.
record, we're not ending it with that one more time.
Oh, okay, well then good. Then I'll reserve out of like airing family business out in public. But in terms of players making more than coaches in general, not the specific situation, I think the money should go to the people who are most valuable. I think Bill Belichick as a coach is worth more than a special teams player or a third string receiver. And I would probably take a quarterback over other coaches. So I don't think it's like a blanket rule. Yeah, I say you pay the people who contribute the most to your success.
And do we know, guys, what she made as the NBA assistant coach for? Was it the Spurs?
Didn't say on here. Let me see.
I don't
see it on here.
Something has to be like in my face all the time for me to know numbers because I just don't pocket watch.
But all I know is for the super max salary of the WNBA, it's at $228,000, which is Breanna Stewart getting that, and Hammond being $1 million person. The salary cap for the WNBA is $1,379,000.
It sucks because we're talking about this, and like last ladies' night, we're like, applaud, like she got a head. Head coach job. Yeah, still applauding her, like she's doing what she wants to do, be a head coach. But now it's like, now we got to like jab at the situation because she's making more than the people that are actually playing every day, Like, and it sucks.
Technically, it's not even Becky's fault. Look at ownership in the WNBA/NBA. Because sometimes we're looking like, oh, how are you going to accept that? Okay, well, anybody else in that position, you're gonna say no. Don't give me $1 million. Only give me 500,000 because my players getting less than me. I'm going to accept it. Doesn't mean that I'm against it. I mean, I'm not against it, but that's what they're paying me. Now, let me see what I can do. However, when you're a coach, the players have a union. So then that's where you get the slippery slope from. Like, I can advocate for them too because she used to be a player. And at the same time, is she going to say they only pay me half? No. I mean, would you all do that? Because they're not getting equal pay to your players, you're going to say, give me half that money and not the full amount?
Jim Harbaugh did.
Okay, he's 1 out of 1 million. And that was, wait a minute. That one, that whole country, hey, there's asterisk behind it. But okay, the thought counts, but there's an asterisk. That wasn't all. Because he gets bonuses.
All I'm saying is if they give me $1 million, I'm taking the $1 million.
Right. And you can still advocate, I need to pay them more. But that's what I'm saying. You're going to say cut my salary in half just so the owner can keep more of that. He ain't going to split it with the players. That doesn't make sense. So that's why I said you can't knock the coaches or anybody receiving the money. Who's the one that makes the decision? That's the one you get on. That's why you know how I am with the NCAA and the cartel ways, which is crumbling down slowly but surely. When all these $1 million coaches are getting literally millions of dollars, and you got these players who are getting nothing, and you could say just a college degree, and some of them don't even get that. So they could be donating their salaries to those players when they're done. That could happen. But none of those coaches do that. I don't care how award-winning and how great they are. They don't donate their salaries either. I'm not saying they should, but again, are we knocking them or the people that make the decision? And hence the hypocrisy when you talk about NCAA sports and basketball or football, or baseball, whatever. You guys are saying these are colleges, they're not for profit. I can't tell looking at the books and these salaries these coaches make that they're not for profit. You're not sharing it with the students who are busting their butts, but you're nor there.
Miss Williams said, "You're right, Bunny. No guarantee any money that she would give up would go to the players anyway." So,
yeah, I mean that's how corporations operate now. Hence, we're never getting another subject. It's just let's stay out there. I'm gonna leave you all with this. I'm gonna give you a few words. So let's tell you the word. Tell me what's the first thing that comes to your mind. All right, for you, Jobo, crybaby.
Like these. Crybaby.
Mm-hmm.
My daughter.
Okay. And Annie, what about shoes?
Louis Vuitton.
Okay. And Jobo, what about bat?
Baseball. I was like, yeah, baseball.
Okay. And Annie, pucker up.
Who?
Nope.
Pucker up. Pucker up. Pucker up.
Ass kisser?
Okay. That's fine.
I'm not in on the bit, so I don't know what's happening here.
No. I'm not expecting it to be sports things. I was just randomly. It could be a sport or it couldn't be a sport. That's why it didn't have to be. Okay. Again, we're trying to end this on a funny light.
Gotcha.
No.
We have a lot of serious talks tonight, guys.
I mean, there's a lot of stuff going on in the sports world, so I'm like, let's just end it with something that is crazy. Who am I on?
Me.
Jobo.
No.
Lights.
Camera action.
Okay.
Only acceptable answer.
Yep.
Sure.
Hey, that's fine. Some people could be thinking of the what's the lights called? The things that was popular in the 90s and the early 2000s. What are lava lamps? Some people think of that. Lights, lava lamps. Anyway.
Over lights, camera, action. Who are these people? And how old are they?
I can tell you, if I hear lights right now, I'm thinking light bright because that's what my daughter keeps playing with every night.
You need to teach her lights, camera, action then.
Okay. And last but not least for you, Annie, computer.
Bill Gates.
Okay.
It's a random one.
Hey, I had to switch it up. Y'all said it was.
I was supposed to think of sports stuff.
Oh no.
You said what?
Was I supposed to think of sports stuff? Like
no, I said it had to be sports.
DraftKings.
Girl, if I did sports, crybaby, I would have put like Yankees fans or something. But first thing popped my head, it's my daughter.
Because
she crabs, she just cries. Must be held
24/7.
That makes sense.
First thing I hear, crybaby LeBron James. He's always crying.
All that real estate you turn over to LeBron James and the Dallas Cowboys. Free yourself. You need to like sage your brain and like get them out, get the spirits out, free yourself to think about other sports topics.
What are you talking about?
LeBron James and the Dallas Cowboys. If we were doing word association, I feel like LeBron James and Dallas Cowboys would come out for everything.
No, for shoes, shoes, red bottoms, bat, Albert Pujols, pucker up, sexy, lights, night lights, that light bright game. See, they're all over the place. What am I? Nothing with Dallas Cowboys in there whatsoever. I deal with a crying baby all the time, but I said LeBron James and my baby cried the same amount, so I gave LeBron the notch on that one.
I will say LeBron does cry a lot on Twitter. He just constantly complaining. So yeah, that's
it was
also an
alcoholic drink called pucker. Oh my gosh, I should have found.
We're still out of my wheelhouse since I don't drink.
That's fine, but that's what the other one that popped in my head. But here nor there. Wonderful show. A lot of topics, so much that it ain't enough to even cover more some of them in detail. And again, this is just beginning of February, you all. We got a whole month full of other stuff that'll be going on. I do want to thank everybody for tuning in to the Ladies' Night on the Platform Sports Talk Show. Please subscribe, YouTube, Facebook, and there's our Imaginary Bell by Jobo. And also, all our shows are stored on Roku now. And don't forget about the Man Cave last Wednesday of the month starting in March. And shout out again to our host with the most / producer, graphic designer, engineer, etc., DJ Smoooth. And Annie, as always, wonderful. And you know, Jobo says the time we're going to be on here back and forth, it's always going to be a ride.
All the time.
Back and forth, but I'm here for all the opinions, comments. Jobo, you're never excluded. Don't ever think you have to not say anything. We always want to hear what you got to say. So,
all right.
Racing all, hey, have at it, honey.
Okay. Screw the Cowboys. Just kidding, Annie. I don't even freaking care about them.
Yeah. And think about it. We got baseball around the corner. Oh, wait. They got a lockout. Damn. Sorry, Jobo.
Baseball.
Eventually, they'll come back around.
The MLB will be cursed until they do right by Barry Bonds.
Ooh.
Barry Bonds will get into the Hall of Fame with that, I don't even remember
the
what the
legacy
vote's called. Yeah, something like that. Listen, I don't think he should.
I'm going to break in and erect my own exhibit to him. That's all he'll get in there.
Oh wow! Okay.
I didn't.
Heading to Cooperstown tonight.
But I
got on my wig, so I won't be identified on the camera.
I'll take a step further. Put that mask on. That's how you really hide that identity. Mask it up.
I did see one take that that like would make me slightly be like, okay, let's put him in there. Is if someone helped save baseball at a bad time, they probably need to be in history, which he's always going to be in history regardless because of all the home runs, this and that. But that's like the one thing that like makes you think about it, you know, like, so that's, you can say the same about Sammy Sosa, Mark McGwire, though. They helped save baseball with the steroid era. So then they need to be in there as well. So that's how you got to think about it, I guess, if you're going to say that about Barry Bonds.
Or you can think about the fact that he had a Hall of Fame career before he was ever suspected of taking any type of substances. And you have to think about the fact that there were tons of stories about in the early days of baseball, even with Babe Ruth and all of that, being hopped up on amphetamines, the coffee being spiked, there being 2 different coffee pots. One that had real coffee in it, the other ones that had like stimulants in it. So it's not, it's not a pure accounting of history. And until you do right by Barry, you will never play another game, MLB.
Okay, look, Annie, tell me how you really feel.
That's a little deep. Miss Williams,
that's right.
The St. Louis soccer team or football. They signed their first player. I did see that on social media. I don't remember their name. Right. So Fred, if you do have that, you can
probably called the St. Louis Football Club.
No, the player's name.
Oh, who the
girl, really?
Gotcha.
But so that's exciting. I can't wait for all soccer to get going here in St. Louis. It's going to be awesome and another topic for us to talk about on all of our shows.
Are y'all getting your football team back? The what was it? The Battle Hawks or something?
XFL.
Yeah, y'all getting them back? They coming back?
Hopefully. The Rock and his crew is supposed to be working on reviving them. So hopefully, that's all I can say, because St. Louis where was at with the XFL.
I'm not gonna attempt to say it. I think it was Salmir Pedro, the player's name that we signed. So correct. Yep, that's it.
Yep, good job, Joe Bo. So shout out to the St. Louis City SC for that. Mr. Pedro, welcome to the STL. And hopefully be so many other people with you.
Good luck. Don't drink the Vest soda.
No, let's do that. And get some Chinese food. Come on now. Plus with some toasted wraps. T-Rads as y'all call it. Come on, don't do that. Thank you all. Joe Bo. What did Sharita, or maybe Andy remember, what did Sharita say our motto was? The audacity to be authentic by way of Miss Williams, I think.
Yes.
There we go.
That is it. And now we were.
This was a wonderful night. I can't wait for next month. And always tune in. Facebook, YouTube, Roku. Until then, we are done. We out.
Bye.
Everybody have a good night.